Ready na? Quorum? Ha? Okay. 81st regular session of the 20th City Council is now called to order. Invocation by Honorable Councilor Yan Lamlim, then followed by the singing of Lupang Hinirang, then the Cagayan de Oro March. Please rise.
May buntag sa tanan. Let us bow our head and let us pray. Our Father, our Heavenly Father, who is the sources of all wisdom, we thank you for the new day of hope, love, and opportunity of service that your people so deserve. We ask forgiveness in all our past failures and where you find us wanting. We pray for the guidance always in our undertaking to truly become your instrument of wisdom and knowledge in spite of this strong hold of crisis that is giving so much pain to our people in this city. We hope to see through this situation in the lens of thin eyes and heart, and that we may find the solution to these impasses and that we may be able to formulate public policy to respond to the crisis in the city of Cagayan de Oro for the benefit of the downtrodden, the simple, the timings among your people. Although all your guidance, maybe the people here, that the leadership, after all, the pen-taking task of studying and cementing sound public policy, the true will of divine providence shall prevail. This is what full awareness of our human limitation, and that what completes true service to your people is your presence in all our endeavors. May you grant us the motivation and enthusiasm as we do your will. This will ask in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord, and ever. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, telas ng silangalan, alam ng puso, sa dibig mo'y buhay. Lupang pinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingin, sa nagtatang tulog sa simoy at sa langit mo bagaw, ay nilatang tulakaw,
Please be seated. Mr. Secretary, please do the roll call.
Honorable City Vice Mayor Jocelyn B. Rodriguez, Presiding Officer. For the 1st District Councilors, Honorable Agapito Heriberto G. Swan, Honorable Roger G. Abaday, Honorable J.R. Pascual, Honorable Amy Rose P. Moreno, Honorable Romeo V. Calizo, Honorable George S. Goking, Honorable Jose Pepe S. Abu Jr., Honorable Malvern A. Esparcia. For the 2nd District Councilors, Honorable Ivona Yasin B. Imano, Honorable Maria Lourdes Esgaani, Honorable Joylene Mercedes El Balaba, Honorable James K. Judith II, Honorable Ian Mark Yunakaya, Honorable Edgar S. Cabanlas, Honorable Christian Rostico M. Achas, Honorable Josette G. Magtahas Daba. For the ex-officio members, Honorable Yan Lam S. Lim, Liga ng mga Barangay President, and Honorable Kenneth Jan D. Sakala, City Escape Federation President. There is quorum, Madam Presiding Officer.
Quorum is hereby certified. Good afternoon, councilors. Good afternoon, our visitors who are here today. We have visitors from Liceo de Cagayan Political Science. Welcome. And good afternoon to our guests who are here, our media friends, and those who are watching right now, fellow Cagayanos, mayong hapon sa tanan. Before we proceed, let's sing a happy birthday song to Councilor J. Pascual, to be led by Councilor Attorney Joey Abu. Please rise.
May I request everyone to please rise and let's sing a happy birthday and wish our colleague in the City Council, Councilor J. Roa Pascual, a fruitful, blessed, and healthy years ahead of him. Him. On my go, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Pastor, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Councilor J.
Happy birthday. Nice na imong kuha na. Suit, nice at the suit. Oh, IP, ha? Nice. Anyway, so, Majority Floor Leader, Attorney Edgar Cabanlas, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, our beautiful Vice Mayor.
Thank
Tibut
you.
Rodriguez.
Thank you, diretso ang sa Ilugayan.
Ayun, Vice Mayor. Happy birthday, Jay. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the City Council, people who are watching us in the social media platforms, guests from other places, students from Liceo de Cagayan who are with us observing this session, people of Cagayan de Oro, may hapon sa tanan, staff, of course, Turks and
Yeah, staff de kalimut ng Jugupit me, oh.
all the others who are with us, sacrificing with us. So, Madam Chair, may I move to dispense the reading of the minutes of the previous regular sessions, one regular session and a special session of the City Council of Cagayan de Oro, and consider the furnishing of copies thereof as reading itself.
Any second? Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
On the special report portion, Madam Chair, there are two members of the City Council who are intending to
Final.
move for the approval of the minutes of the previous sessions, Madam Chair.
Any second? Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve in second final reading.
Second? Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Thank you. On special report portion, Madam Chair, we have two members of the City Council who would like to render a special report. First, Councilor Bernie. Oh,
Councilor Abaday and Councilor Judith.
yeah. Councilor Judith, who will be reporting on the quality of water coming from the COWD. And Councilor Abaday, who will be reporting on the new development on the operation of Baobao in the national highways, in our national highways. That would be the sequence, Madam Chair. May I request that Councilor James Judith be recognized?
Councilor Attorney James Judith, you're recognized.
Sa atong presiding officer, Vice Mayor Jocelyn Bebot Rodriguez, akong tinahod ng mga kauban sa konseho, Majority Floor Leader Council Edgar Cabanlas, atong mga bisita, membro sa prensa, mga kagayanon, sa inyong tanan, maupay. Madam Chair, isip chairman or nagtimunil sa gitawag nato nga Technical Working Group on Fact-Finding, ubos sa landong sa task force nga gimugna pinasikad sa executive order sa atong halangdong mayor, Rolando Clarix Uy. Tahas nato ang pagtugkad sa isyu, pagpangita sa kamaturan, o pagsuta niini, o pagpangalap sa mga taho o detalye, kabahin na sa controversial nga kontrata ni Kobe o ni Water District. Madam Chair, gawas sa nasayra nato nga controversial nga provision sa mga kontrata kabahin sa automatic 3-year escalation clause nga but pasabot nga adunay pagtaas sa singil sa tubig ni Kobe ngadto kang Water District matag tulo ka tuig nga dili na moagi sa pagtugot bali ni luwa o paghatag o kaning pagtigayon o public consultation o public hearing. Adunay mga pipila ka provisions nga akong iyagyag karon aron para sa kasayuran sa tanan. Gawas ni ana nga provision, Madam Chair, tuguti ako, Madam Chair. Isa sa akong nasayran kabahin bali sa kontrata ni Kobe o ni Water District mao nga hantod karon, Madam Chair, wala pa nagtuman si Kobe sa pagtunol o turnover sa gitawag nga iyang deliverables matud pa sa maong kontrata or kalagdaan, mao kana ang East Pipeline nga ang kutay sa Water District nga kwaon niya sa take-off point or bitang nato sa tinubdan sa tubig ni Kobe o Rio Verde dito sa may upper dinhi sa ibabaw nga bahin sa atong dakbayan dito din ipasa sa kutay ni Water District sugod sa Tagwanaw paingon bali sa Kamamanan ug sa ubos nga bahin nini. Tungod sa wala pagtuman ni Kobe, Madam Chair, na nawalan og income si Water District moabot or mokabat og 400 paingon sa 500,000 matag bulan, Madam Chair. Tungod lang kay hantod karon base sa atong pakisusi wala pagyapon natunol ni Kobe or nag-turnover sa maubali nga facility. Ikaduha nga punto, Madam Chair, base sa kalagdaan ni Kobe ug ni Water District, walay kapas si Kobe di ay nga mahimong bulk water supplier kay wala man day siya filtration or water treatment plant nga mauna ang standard requirements sa tanan nga mga bulk water suppliers sa tibuok kalibutan o maski kinsa ang atong pangutanon nga kinsa nga supplier dinhi sa atong sa tibuok nasod sa Pilipinas. Apil na, Madam Chair, nga wala di ay refractive water quality monitoring index si Kobe. Ikadua nga punto, apil na pod niya na nga wala siya gitawag nato nga online treated water transmission power turbine. Apil na niya na nga wala di ay na natuman ni Kobe. Pero ang pinaka-importante sa tanan, Madam Chair, mao nga walay treatment or filtration or treatment plant si Kobe. Buot pasabot, kay wala man day sa filtration or water treatment plant, buot pasabot day nga gikan sa tinubdan sa tubig ni Kobe nga iyang ipasa dito sa main take of valve ni Water District o gikan sa main take of valve ni Water District mo po diyang iapod-apod sa kabalayan sa ato baling mga konsumidor ni Water District, wala di ay kasiguruduan kung unsa kalimpyo or luwas bali sa kadaot ang atong katawhan nga moinom og tubig. Akong balikon, base sa ana nga punto nga atong nakaplagan, nga wala pa di ay hantod karon, wala pa di ay filtration or water treatment plant si Kobe, Kay matud pa sa pinakabagko nga gitigayon nga press conference si Water District, nga panawagan ni Water District, gipangutana si GM Tony Yang, Madam Chair, kung aduna ba'y pagtuman sa deliverables ni Kobe base sa iyang kalagdaan ni Water District. Ang tubag ni GM Tony Yang, natuman daw kabahin sa filtration and water treatment plant, pero adtong 2018 or 2019, apan tungod kay naa kunoy dako nga bagyo, kusog nga bagyo, nga mihapak bali dinhi sa atong dakbayan, nabanlas, dili konsel ka banlas, kung dili nabanlas or natayog, napulpog ang maubali nga filtration
Ay,
and
lagi
water
ng hilabti
treatment
ang
plant.
galingkod.
Hindi, dili kabanlas ang akong buot pasabot, kundi nabanlas, napulpog ang maubali nga filtration and water treatment plant. Buot pasabot nga sugod adtong panahona nga nabanlas o napulpog ang maong filtration and water treatment plant hantod karon, wala pagyapon na rehabilitate or natulit ni Kobe ang maubali nga facility. Sa laktod nga pagkastorya, Madam Chair, hantod di ay karon, kung kanading mga kanading tubig nga nagkutay, nag-agi, nagtubod bali sa atong taksa-taksa kagripo sa tanan konsumidor ni Cagayan de Oro Water District, dili di ay limpyo o walay kasiguraduan nga luwas kitang tanan nga mo inom. Kay direktamente man nga mo'y gakwaon ni Water District gikan kang Kobe nga walay filtration and water treatment plant sa laktod nga pagkastorya, direktamente nga ipasa ni Water District sa mga tagsa-tagsa kagripo sa tanan konsumidor nini nga dili limpyo o dili luwas ang atong mga konsumidor. Inani lang, Madam Chair, mandato ni Water District ang dili lang ang pag-apod-apod sa tubig. Mandato ni Water District ang pag-apod-apod og limpyo og luwas nga imnon na tubig. At this juncture, Madam Chair, first, this one is for information, and second, this one is for referral to the Public Utilities Committee chaired by the good Councilor General Romeo Calizo for the conduct of an investigation on the matter. And third, Madam Chair, for the appropriate further action on the matter. Dini na lang kukutob, daghang salamat, ug asdang Cagayan de Oro.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Councilor Romeo Calizo, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and good afternoon to my colleagues. Actually, this has been a long-standing concern about how safe is our water. Still, the committee chairman on the public utilities was the late Councilor Bonglao, which I took over. And I don't know if 2 or 3 times Councilor Abaday has repeatedly reported this matter. Because according to him, in their barangay in Kauswagan, basta buntag kuno, murag tsokolate ang tubig. So, this has been a lingering concern for so long. Now, much as I want to continue, well, it's my pleasure to have it continued so that the appropriate action will come up soon at the committee level, Madam Chair. But because it's a matter of urgency, I think the task force has designated a task group, if I'm not mistaken, to have this investigated for immediate action, Madam Chair. But still, yes, it's still proper that for a long-range plan, this can be referred to my committee, the Committee on Public Utilities. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Councilor Romeo Calizo. Councilor Girly Balaba, you were raising your hand a while ago. You are recognized.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. This is in relation to the potability of our water here in Cagayan de Oro. Just recently, I went to Davao City and akong nakuha, gikuha na ko ang dili siya Sir Torch, 42 seconds. Pwede na ko siya untay ipagawas o ipakita dari sa ato ang screen kung unsa kalimpyo ang tubig sa Davao City. Ang ato diha is nganong kita sa dari sa Cagayan de Oro City, naulahi behind na kayo ta aning ato ang water services. Kita nagpabilin nga na problema lang gihapon hangtod karon sa walay agas, sa kulang sa agas, o na problema ta sa mga internal strife diha sa sulod mismo sa Kaudi, sa mga kontrata na iyahang ginahimo with any private stakeholders. Ang Davao City, tuwa na sila sa treatment sa ilahang tubig. No, gisiguro nila nga ilahang mga tubig mainom gyud gikan sa gripo. And to think na kita dali sa Cagayan de Oro na atay daghan na water sources. Napalibutan ta sa rivers. Ako lang ni ginadugay-dugay, Madam Chair, kaya akong yulat ang pwede sa Telegram. Kung saan na ito ni pakita sa video.
I will entertain muna another
yes.
comments.
Anyways,
I can come back to you.
Anyway, ito lang din. Madam Chair, ang sa Davao City is they protect their watershed facilities, their watershed areas. So mo pudunta na siya ang ako i-call sa ato ang Committee on Environment nga ato mga watershed facilities or watershed areas ato pud sang tagaan og dakong importansya aron nga ato mga tubig limpyo. So anyways, ako paano lang.
Councilor Attorney Joey Abo, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Just a reaction to the special report made by the reporter regarding the potability of the water that we have. You know, kita tanan, we are and you should be entitled to a clean water nga pwede nato maingon. But I'd like to start with the premise laid down by the reporter that it is the mandate of COWD to provide a clean water, as mentioned a while ago. Now, I just have queries about this or concerns about this, Madam Presiding Officer. Number one, as much as gusto nato og tubig sa ato ang tanan, kay kana man gyud ang atong tumong. Dili lang na tubig, but limpyo nga tubig. But I have questions. Ngano man nga kubira man atong pagasalan ana whether our water is potable or not sa atong mga gripo nga Kubi is a bulk water supplier. Ang piping sa atong mga tubig is not owned by Kubi but that of Water District. And in the first place, COWD also has the duty as mentioned a while ago, a mandate. It is their mandate to provide clean and potable waters to its consumer. In the first place, they should have also equipments to purify this water, and not just the bulk water supplier. Secondly, we have to remember that the pipes going to the household, padulong sa mga balay sa atong mga konsumante, is, as admitted also to the report, kay ginapanag-iyahan sa COWD ug dili sa Kubi. And I have made this special report months prior that ang problem nato gyapon sa atong water supply system is mismo ang piping sa COWD. Because karaan na, dagan nga buslot, ug dagan na taya. It could be that also the reason why nga kung dili patabol ang atong tubig, tungod po na sa piping sa COWD. Dili lang po tungod sa Kubi. Third and last, it is my honest observation, Madam Presiding Officer, nga dili man isa sa pagdapig sa bisag kinsa kaya ang atong tumong tanan na atay tubig nga bahatag sa atong katawan. Limpios pud nga tubig. Pero nganong sa tanan na lang man butang Kubi ang atong pasanginlan. Sila ra gyud di ay aba ang naay sayop og supply sa kalimpyo og supply sa atong panubig. Unsa gid as much as we want to, dukdukon nato pud ning Kubi pud. Kalabo silang kontrata, ato pud yapong dukdukon ang COWD. Not only Kubi, because it is Cagayan de Oro Water District is the local water district of Cagayan de Oro. Nga, I was just wondering, unsa ba'y gibuhat po sa COWD, kalabot silang NRW sa ilang pipings. Hilom man kayo sila, hindi na to sila kakadunggan. And, ang ako lang po nga, this problem that they have, COBE and COWD, originates with that of the contract. Pero ang problema mismo sa COWD, ilahang pipings na ila po ning obligation as premise that it is the mandate of COWD to provide a clean and potable water to its consumers. And as much as we want to blame, lagi sa kong gingon, let's also blame COWD. Gani, katong last time po nga wala, katong, as I have noticed, katong May 14, early in the morning, COWD posted in notice nga naay water interruption kay na sila'y gi-repair na piping. But suddenly, when it was announced nga giputol kuno sa Kubi ang supply sa tubig, ilang gidelete ang ilahang post. O ina na din gipasangilan ang Kubi. And I do not want to insinuate on things, Madam Presiding Officer, pero sa lihok sa lihok ug sa kahilom sa COWD, nga mura ang LGU naman hinuon ang gadipinsa sa ilaha, sila gahilom sila asa uban mga issue. Makapahuna-una punta, Madam Presiding Officer, ba kung unsa ba sadya ilang plano? Let's face the fact. Okay, fine. If there is a problem with Kubi, then let's question Kubi. But I have not heard anything gi-question po nato ang capacity po sa COWD, which admittedly they have also lapses on their part outside the contract, which relates to this potability of our water. It is not the sole problem of Kubi, but that also water district. Ato pagyapon tanan silang dugdugong mga Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay. Thank you very much, Councilor Attorney Joy Abu. Yes, Councilor Ian Mark Nakaya, you have the floor. Are you ready, Councilor Gurley? Yeah, after the Councilor Ian Mark.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. From my standpoint, Madam Presiding Officer, perhaps the special report of Councilor James is too early. Too early. I was about to join the manifestation of the presiding officer in the previous session that sometimes we are milling and doing our reporting here on a piecemeal basis. In other words, it's not strategic, but we just provide information. Why it's too early? We have created the Committee of the Whole. We have tasked and created an ad hoc committee that will tackle the issues by and between the Cagayan de Oro Water District and Kobe. And it has not been disposed of yet. In other words, there was no termination of the Committee of the Whole. In other words, the Committee on Public Utilities has to yield to the bigger committee that was created by the plenary. So this matter should be discussed in the Committee of the Whole. And I would like to think that since the issue accordingly has lingered to what has become right now, Madam Presiding Officer, that the President has to intervene. And many quarters have to react on the issue, but still, as representatives of the people, we are the principal. We should not join any concern in the battle of people and public interest, but we should be the principal actors. So I suggest that everything there is on the issue of water, we refer to the committee, not the regular and the usual water concern, which is to be lodged with the Committee on Public Utilities of Councilor General Romeo Calizo, but on the contracts, as correctly provided by and forwarded by Councilor James Judith, it's within the terms of the contract. So therefore, it's the Committee of the Whole. Let's not stop, Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay, thank you very much, Councilor Ian Mark Nakaya. So let us proceed first with Councilor Gurley. Are you ready?
Okay. Nga, mo ni siya. This is a video I took, no? Just look at straight from the faucet ang ilang gripo. Ang gripo, ang tubig. Treated, kagit Davao City. And look,
That's
look,
treated.
Treated. Oh, look how na makita ninyo nga ang water clear siya. It's obviously treated.
Did you get a sample of ours?
Lubog.
So, meaning it's not treated, ours. It's not treated. Oh, okay, clear na siya. I didn't know that. Ginana de.
Yes,
But,
Davao.
yeah,
Yes.
check whether it's...
So, Madam Chair, ako lang, I support na ang Cagayanon, so any consumer, not even a Cagayanon, would be willing to pay for any amount or any increase sa ato ang kining tubig for as long as quality ang ato ang tubig o kining quality in terms of mainom siya gikan sa gripo, quality in terms of kakusog pod sa agas sa tubig sa kada panimalay.
Okay, thank you very much, Councilor Girly Balaba. Yes, Councilor Bernice Parcha, you have the floor.
Daghang salamat, Madam Presiding Officer, sa atong mga naminaw karon mayong hapon. Madam Presiding Officer, just a rejoinder to the special report of Attorney James Judith. This morning, pag-aton ako sa opisina, ako yung gi-review again ang kontrata katong bulk water supply agreement. Also, I'm wondering, and I want also to know, kung kaning part sa ilang bulk water supply agreement, kaning design and construction of transmission facilities and rehabilitation of existing reservoir located at Kamamanan o Cagayan de Oro to enable the distribution of at least 40 MLD potable bulk water within the eastern section of Cagayan de Oro. Napay kaduha sa ilang agreement that the supply of at least 60 MLD of bulk treated water to service the requirements of COWD's western sector. Again, kanetong istoryan ng COBI is a joint venture of Metropac and Water District, which is, ang Metropac, kundi ko sayop 95%. Mas dako gid si Metropac. And also, I would like also to add, to investigate also, nga tinuod ba ni nga si COBI as a bulk water supplier do not have technical people on the ground to facilitate any day-to-day operational problems, concerns, or issues that could respond immediately to the problem in spite of the fact that they get the 95% of the profit. Parang, kana lang, I want also nga, again, sa giingon ni Attorney James Judith, please, tana, ato sa nang may bawaan kung tinuod ba ni tanan. Because again, si Metropac, which is ang dako nga bahin aning COBI, is dako kay siya og deliverables. And I want to know kung nahatag ba yun ni, o na-follow ba yun ni Madam Presiding Officer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Councilor Councilor Bernice Parcha. So, are we going to have this referred to the committee as a whole? You have the committee as a whole, right? Yeah? Councilor, yes, Majority Floor Leader, you have the floor.
Well, there is a suggestion that we will refer this to the Committee on Franchise and Public Utilities, and also to another suggestion to the committee, the task force. But before that, Madam Chair, I mean, let's set the facts in the proper perspective. I think there is an assumption that we don't have any potable water in Cagayan de Oro. Kung dili potable water, dagan daot ng tatakaroon. I mean,
Meaning drinking water?
Potable matingali atong tubig. Matingali kung kayo.
Rebuttal,
I don't
Councilor
think
Girly.
stupid ang COWD nga ilang i-release ng tubig sa atong mga pusit nga dili nga hugaw. So, let's not assume that. Let's not assume that. Kay muraog din nato maka-create ang panic sa tao nga ang atong tubig is not potable. Ayaw sa pagsultian na nga dili potable kay.
What is the meaning of potable? Mainom?
Libanga man sa ana.
Mainom. Because
Mainom.
others cannot buy, they cannot buy this, this,
People are still drinking water
yeah,
on the,
coming from the faucet.
So
Yeah.
dili lang tingali na panahon tingali nga hugaw bata, it doesn't mean nga I mean all these things are happening not only here in Cagayan de Oro but in all other water district. So ato ibutan sa proper perspective. Now, kamura man og ang buti pa sabot na to nga. Okay. Kung tinuod nga hugaw din let's
Tinood mo.
karon ta ng hospital.
Anyway. Councilor Gurley would like to...
I mean, kani imong tanan mo yung kita
Yeah.
nga mo kana mo kadto nga mo na it's not good to listen to that. Kay very presumptuous to say nga tong tubig sa Cagayan de Oro hugaw. Everybody's drinking it. Na panahon tingali nga medyo ka. We have accepted this fact and salamat gini kita nga natay tubig uban dito sa Cebu karon kay tubig. Labad nilang ulo asa silang kuwag tubig. And they're getting water from the sea. And these machines that is desalinating water from the sea is not a perfect machine. There are times nga mo back down ka na. So, mga imperfections are always happening. There is no such thing as perfect water district. In the whole world, even in New York or even in other countries in the world that are very advanced countries, wala. Public utilities are always prone to, some imperfections. So, di na ito ma-assume nga ito, di na ito bigli hugaw kahit nga di ta kainom kayo, you're creating...
Puti man ta, di ba?
So, Madam Chair, but this issue about tubig ng hugaw has been repeating all the time. In fact, ang atong kasalon din ang water district. Kaya lagi, ang water district, yung sab nga kulang sila sa capital. Anong dili nila magkakaayo ka na ilang mga linya. So, mubalik na sa problema. It's a big problem sa water district, especially now that they cannot afford to rehabilitate fully the pipelines of and the supply, compounded by these legal issues of Kobe and everybody else is there. So nakadugang in town ang ilang problema. So na may mga action. The role of the city government, as far as I am concerned, the role of the city government is to see to it that supply of water will not be stopped.
Correct.
Mura na itong concern. We have the restraining order issued by the court, which is good for 20 days, and we are insisting on for the issuance of an injunction. Imo na importante, nga di ta mo wadag tubig. Kanang kagubot yan nila karon sa Kubyo, kanang ilang mo take over ang mga that's the problem of COWD. But as a bystander here, we will see to it nga the intervention that will be done by LOA, that LOA will not be there intervening simply because they want COWD to pay Kubi. That is not the function of LOA for me. That's the function of the court. That's the function of arbitration. Kung ani lang sila dinig para pugsun kita pagbayad na ng 400 million, that is out of their jurisdiction. Mismanagement, yes. Walay supplies tubig, yes. Moani sila. But to be here and saying, very COWD yung utang sa Kubi, what di? So, but as far as we are concerned, as I said, ang ato in concern is, nagili maputol ang tubig nga yatagtas mga tao. Kaya magwadya. Balag hugaw tingali, basta naitubig. Pwede naman na initon. So, Madam Chair, may I request that this be referred to the committee.
You're still raising your hand. Yeah, okay, Councilor Romeo Calizo, then Councilor Gurley.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Much as I go with the idea of our majority floor leader not to create panic, I think it's also good if we accept the truth. Kay ako, di ko mainom atong tubig oy. Kay magdaot ang tud karon mapalit yun ko kanang magpa-refill yun ko sa akong tubig para mainom. So that water district will also do the appropriate action. Kay lisod po kayo nga di nato isulti din ang tinuod nga di day mainom nay dako kayo nga kawadon tungod sa non-revenue water. Di sila okay raman kaha. We should not accept these limitations because it will not serve good for the interest, much more to the welfare of our people, the consumers. So I think it's good to maybe, although as has been observed, this might be too early or probably the report is incomplete, but again, it's good to tell the truth. Tinuod man gyud kay bisag sa mga subdivisions naagyapoy mga limitations sa ilang water supply. Although they say it's potable, pagkasayo sa buntag, pag open nimo na manggi hugaw. And these are the quality of water that is being supplied to the people of Cagayan de Oro. So I think it's good if water district will also react or act very appropriately. Kay for so many years, tigiman ni nato niga pila ka special report na makaingon nga hugaw ang tubig, dili potable, murag tsokolate. Murag after so many years, wa may saktong action manggod Madam Chair. That's why I think it's also good if we tell the truth so that water district will react accordingly.
Okay. Thank you very much, Councilor Romeo Calizo. Councilor Girly Balaba.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I think Councilor Calizo has same sentiments, no, na we should not allow ourselves to be shortchanged in the skinning tubig, no? Kay mo magid ni ang like time and balik-balikon na essential in our lives. Water is life. Kita po na rin, no, dili ta musugot lang na basta na tubig. I'm sorry, Majority Floor Leader, no, I have to disagree with you on this. Maski kinsa may musugot og drinking challenge dari from the faucet diha sa karon mugawas sa gripo mainom. Ikaw mainom daw siya from the gripo. Painom daw painom.
Tagay ko sa kabas.
Painom, dili ka tagaan ni Sir George.
Sa mga nag-report mo, painom.
Kabalo siya nga dili siya.
Sa kalitro.
Dagan ka. Anyways, dili ta musugot na kana na lang basta-basta na lang na basta na tubig. Okay na. Kinanglan ang atong tubig di kalidad sad ang ihatag sa atoa.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a very healthy discussion. So we're done. So we are referring to the Committee on Public Utilities, Councilor Romeo Calizo. We're done. We're done with the music, with the water. So yes, the second speaker, Councilor Roger Abaday, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, our presiding officer, Vice Mayor Jocelyn Bebot Rodriguez, my esteemed members of the 20th City Council, and those people who are watching us online, and those who are in the gallery, our friends in the media who are monitoring us, maayong hapon sa tanan. Before I start, I would like to greet happy birthday to Councilor Jay, who is in the IP attire. Happy birthday, Jay. Of course, I also congratulate the newly married James and April Judith. Yes,
congratulations.
Okay, so my report as stemmed from the national publication with regards to our operation in kining mga baw-baw og tricycle. No? Last week,
in the newspaper I read, the Committee on Transportation and Public Utility, headed by Albay Representative Joey Salcida, during the committee meeting, attended by DILG, DOTR, LTO, and the rest, asked the DILG why they prohibit tri-cab, pedicabs, motorized pedicabs from operating national highways, saying that the said department does not have jurisdiction over the matter. Nowhere in the local code that the DILG or DOTR has that authority, according to Salcida, Representative Salcida. The DILG answered that they issued the Memorandum Circular 94-94, which stated for its safety reasons. And in fact, in the same memo, they said that the Sangguniang Panglungsod or the Sangguniang Bayan may provide exception if there is no alternative route. That is in their memo. Further, the DILG also said that we are just reiterating and circulating the memorandum circular issued by the DOTR, LTO, memorandum circular last 2017. So, mo ilang basis sa DILG. So, if the question is, if Representative Joey Salcida is, in his interpretation, is correct, then if the DILG and DOTR has no jurisdiction, as if there is no basis at all. Kay, if there is no jurisdiction in our rules of court, yung mga abogado din that is the authority and power on the part of the court or the agency to exercise. So, munang akong i-brought out because there is a legal implication. Kaya ang atong Chief Executive karon, the Mayor, has issued an order sa banta nga daghan na kayong mga bao-bao, gi-prohibit na din na makabiyay na problema na kaya karon sa na pag take care ng dakpan karon sa kanang sa una ng dakpan karon. So muna nga the DILG clarification highlights the distinction between the policy establishment and implementation. So emphasizing that prohibition of tricycle on national highways is a directive set forth to the Department of Transportation. Murag nagtinudluay na sila nani. This clarification follows the concern of Albay Representative Joey Salcida. So, question their authority. So, at the heart of this issue lies the tension between the national directives and the local autonomy. Now, while the DILG asserts its role in disseminating and reinforcing existing policies, Representative Salcida argues that for the authority to the local government units to regulate national highways within their jurisdiction. So kita ang dunay katungod. No? So the contention underscores the need for a clear delineation of roles and responsibilities in policy implementation, particularly in the matters of transportation and public safety. So furthermore, the confusion generated by DILG circular has significant implications, particularly in our city and other places where tricycles serve as a vital mode of transportation. This enfranchisement of tricycle users despite their compliance with the motor vehicle users charges, the MBUC, raises important questions about the equity and accessibility. Gabayad ang mga motorcycles kanang tanan, gabayad kining tax buwis para nga makaagi sila diya sa atong kadalanan. So as we deliberate on this matter, it is essential to consider the broader implication for, especially for our city, no? And I am suggesting that the Committee on Public Safety will hold a committee meeting inviting the DILG, the region or the city, the DOTR and LTO and other concerned agencies in order to issue this issue now, which I think there are legal implications if we will continue to implement this memorandum circular issued by the DILG. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Refer to Council Public Utilities, Councilor Romeo Calizo. Yes, you'd like to. Okay, Councilor Romeo Calizo, you have the floor.
Yeah, anyway, it's commendable report, Madam Chair. And although really there's a clash of interpretation of the policy between the DILG and, of course, some of our legislators, Madam Chair. But meantime, while this being referred to the Committee on Public Transportation, is still the standing order of our mayor to implement the memorandum circular issued by the DILG is still in effect, Madam Chair. So until such time that there's a change as a result of our committee meeting, the order of our local chief executive stands.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Madam.
Okay, thank you very much, Councilor Romeo Calizo. Anyway, let's proceed. Majority Floor Leader, Attorney Edgar Cabanlas, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Salamat sa mga reporters. So let's go to the business of the day. Item number 1, proposed ordinance number 2024-4654 for second and final reading, adopting the use of document security seal by all frontline offices, departments of the City Government of Cagayan de Oro on official and original documents issued to transacting persons and other or entities appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. Before we proceed, Madam Chair, for the approval, we would like to listen to Ms. Roxanne May Ravidas, CPA, our Acting City Budget Officer, Chairperson of the Local Finance Committee, who is invited today for some insights on the proposed ordinance.
Okay, can we invite Ms. Roxanne May Ravidas? You're recognized. Representative.
Okay. Representative.
Name, sir?
Please state your name.
Suspensa. Majority, suspend.
May I move for the suspension of the rules?
Rules suspended. Yes, proceed.
To the Honorable Presiding Officer and to the Honorable Members of the Sangguniang Paglungsod, with all protocols observed, maayong hapon sa tanan. In behalf of Mrs. Roxanne May Ravidas, Acting City Budget Officer, which she has an equally important matter to attend. I am John Micah Sabliena, his understaff, City Budget Office. With me is also with Ma'am Divine W. from the City Finance Office. This document security seal technically adds a layer of protection for our a counter offer also for the threats of tampering, altercations, and those unauthenticated documents of the city government. It also seeks to, with its unique features of the document security seal, on top of our documents to be released, we believe that it is a very good security measures for all the documents stated under the proposed ordinance section 5 for the various documents of the government, city government. And also, as to quote with a line used by our city Mayor, it's also an initiative to confirm and guarantee the lawfulness and authenticity of the issuance of the document or papers consistent with the city's commitment to uphold the highest standards of documents, integrity, and security. That would be all for my discussion, President Chair.
What's the sample of that? The official seal. Can you show us?
Technically, it's a form of a sticker form with a new technology. Specifically, it is just a sample or this is a sample from a Tagbilaran which we benchmark for our security seal.
So who's going to use that, the seal?
The various offices, Madam Chair. And
like our office also?
The frontline offices, Madam Chair. Yes.
So where do we get the seal?
We have a provider for this document programs. Yes.
So we will be asking from your office
yes.
for that?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes, Majority Floor Leader, Attorney Edgar Cabanlas.
Now, I have no problem with that seal because other offices are doing that. Even the Supreme Court requires seals on our documents. But the problem is everybody who wants to have a certified copy of government documents, they have to pay 50 pesos. Why 50 pesos? Tama to.
So all offices will be paying 50 pesos per seal?
No, Madam Chair. 50 pesos on top of the current fees of our documents, official documents of the government.
That's
additional 50. That would cover the expenses, the administrative expenses for the printing.
That's too big for me. Too big. Ordinary nga tao di kagawin na 50 pesos eh. Mga certification.
I'm still confused. Huh?
Huh?
Okay, one page is 50 pesos, sir. 50? If we have like 100 pages or 20 pages, is that...
Mayang hapon, everyone. I am Divina Dablio, Assistant City Treasurer.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, this is an additional really for the certification fee we are currently imposing to our certifications. But this one is 50 pesos, sir, because the procurement of this, there is a variable cost on this sticker. More or less, it costs 35 pesos. It's just a return of investment for the city government, where because also an additional fee because we will be issuing an official receipt for this one once it is paid by our consuming public, and then that OR will also be part of the cost of the 50 pesos. More or less, based from the benchmarking, it costs per sticker more or less 35 pesos. And then to add up our recibo OR, we are costing 9 pesos per OR. So more or less, it is 44 pesos on the variable cost itself. The 6 pesos, it can be for the costing of our inspection, to our personnel costing. So the toolkit of this one, the 50 pesos is commensurate to the cost of the total sticker we will be procuring.
Yes, Majority Floor Leader.
Okay, but not per page, per document.
No, per document, sir.
Yes, per document.
Usually,
even if the document is 1,000 pages, you only pay 50 pesos.
Actually, yes, sir. It is per document on the certification fee. Actually, the imposition of this one is per certification issued by the agency or the departments or offices involved.
Can you reduce that to 25 pesos?
Sir, based from the benchmarking, it costs already on the sticker itself more or less 35 pesos. But we are issuing an official receipt. We are issuing an official receipt in issuing this one because that is the basis of all the offices involved, that they will be issuing an order of payment. The order of payment will be transmitted to the city treasurer or being presented by the client for us to issue the OR which the OR, per OR po, is 9 pesos already from the National Printing Office. So this is just a commensurate fee for our public.
Yeah, who's raising? Councilor Ayan Mark Nakaya. You raise first the Councilor Attorney Joey, then Councilor Roger.
I stand on behalf of Councilor Gani. Anyway.
You let Councilor Gaani speak.
Yeah. Anyway, I like the explanation of Mr. Michael Sabelina and of course the Assistant Treasurer, Madam Presiding Officer. However, some concerns perhaps we would like to raise. One is what is about to be imposed is a sticker. I do not know if it is the latest technology that we should adopt, considering that sticking is a thing of the past. And I would like to think that the barcode is the better option. And you can use barcodes, and it's printed on the paper. You don't have to stick something on the paper. Instead, you press it and have it printed, and the barcode, I do not know how things are done. Just like the presiding officer, we submitted that we're not picky. But we understand, with a certain understanding, that barcodes are now the trend. And sticker, murag karaan mo siya na, James? Sa ato mo siya na panahon?
Imo ng panahon.
O, di wala pa na sa imong panahon, wala pa sticker.
Seal.
May we be explained, and if there is
Can
a
you have
good comparison.
Sorry, Councilor Ayan, do you have a sample of the sticker?
Do
you have it now?
The actual one, ma'am, Your Honor, wala pa ta because we need the ordinance for us to implement it.
Precisely why? Why not the barcode?
We have a sample from a national government.
Can I see
looks
it?
like this from the Bureau of Local Government Finance.
The sticker lagi.
It's a hologram.
Yan, gipilit lang.
Malagi. Is that
barcode na lang? Libre pa?
Like that.
Ha?
It
Maibot to. See? Another issue. Ha? Nawala. Nawala. Ha? Maibot lagi. Di ang reference number man ang ilang kakuanon ana. Ang accessibility to the data. Oh, kana QR code, barcode.
This is the sample of the is this not batang-tang-tang-tang? And yeah, it's like that. Why not print it in the paper already, di ba?
Barcode, QR code.
I do not get. I'm sorry, me myself, dili man gyud ko karaan tao man gyud ko, but I don't see any more stickers.
I ako ganina, Madam Presiding Officer.
I'm not into stickers anymore. Bisan pa o karaan
pa na
ko.
ni James sticker.
I hope that they can change the Kurig na yung magkakawat sa sticker, be.
O lagi. Pwede ma-brief tagamay. Ako okay raman ko kung mo ning latest, Madam Presiding Officer. Kay we are coming into the future. And
Oroy, that somebody will be able to get your sticker there in your drawer or what. Tanawa, gagmay ka ayo.
Usa na
tanawa, oh. Mura na siya stamp ba kada sa airmail before.
Oh. Usa lang kapangutanan, nag-explore ba sila sa kanang barcode, QR code?
Yeah, that's the latest trend now. So meaning kita nibalik ta sa pagtangtang sa sticker, timbutang sa papel.
Ato patubagon?
I do not know. Let's they have to explore another venue for that. Kay ako I'm speaking for myself. I do not know with the councilors. Yes, Attorney Joy Abu.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Just a question. Sa tanan man sad nato transaction that we do in the city government, we issue receipts, right? Yeah, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Oh. Now, wala pa man na siya. Kung naatay transaction, may certification, of course, we issue receipts.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then why do we have to add up the 9 pesos for the receipts if now we already issue receipts?
Actually,
We add up the cost of the 9 pesos from the 35 pesos of the sticker when we issue receipts now.
we will be issuing receipt. Yes, but the costing of this seal is different from the regular certification fee that we have to our local revenue
Yes,
code
yes,
of
I understand. The
2014.
sticker cost around 35 pesos.
Yes.
And you said that around 9 pesos is added to the 35 pesos for the issuance of the receipt.
Technically, yes, Your Honor, but this proposed ordinance, it's also part of our revenue generation, might
Yeah.
be. It can increase our but the main factor for this, the basic rationale of this sticker is that this will authenticate the documentation that we will be releasing, just like the certification for no business.
Yes, with respect to the document.
Yes, with respect to the document. That
But
is-
with the receipt, we have our official receipt.
Yes, we have.
already.
We are procuring it.
So meaning to
actually.
say, as you mentioned, now that we issue receipt without charging the 9 pesos, and now if we add it up with the pagbutang sa sticker, then we add the 9 pesos for the issuance of the receipt, that is for purposes of revenue generating now.
Basically, yes, Your Honor. Pero
Not for the cost.
Not for the cost, but I
okay.
just computed it that way for purposes of questioning the 50 pesos because it's part and parcel of the transaction
Yes,
where we will be issuing the certification.
But it would also be possible that if we eliminate the 9 pesos so that we can stick to the 35. Since
This
anyway, we issue receipt with all the transactions that we have in the city government.
Remember, Your Honors, this is a variable cost. Right now, it's 35. But we still not yet sure if really is how much is the cost of the sticker in due time that we will procuring it. Because the benchmarking of this was done prior years.
Yeah, but as mentioned also a while ago, the 9 pesos is for the official receipt.
Actually, yes, Your Honor.
That would be all, Madam
So why
President,
not
sir.
put in one receipt?
Actually, Your Honor,
Each time we bring our certificate, we attach the receipt, right? So why not there?
Actually, it's the certificate itself that we authenticate it based on the receipt, based on the document.
Yeah, but if I will be able to steal the stickers and then so it's easier for me to authenticate it.
Actually, it is being, Your Honor, even our business permits are being fabricated fake. So this is one way we can detect the authenticity.
So who's safe keep the stickers?
Because
Who's
it
going
will-
to keep that make sure that it's safe?
It is part of the document during the inspection of our field men.
Okay.
It's
So
not the payment only.
I'll give you only those raising your hand 1 minute. Okay? Councilor Roger Bada, I am going to time you.
One
1
long
minute
minute.
or 30 seconds.
1 long minute, Sir, Madam Presiding Officer. Okay, just ask Nikon, where did you copy that when security?
Actually, it was benchmarked with, I think it's in Bohol. And
Bohol.
and based from our verification through our internet, we have also in the Pitan. And this one that I brought is from the Bureau of Local Government Finance under the Department of Finance. So this is being utilized already, not only by LGUs, but also the national government. Just the same with the comment of
Manila.
our honorable. The Supreme Court also is utilizing
Modesty
this time.
aside, my colleagues, no, I'm also a question document examiner. No. Ang nimbawan sa security code, katong dili ma-discern sa dili makita embedded in the
Paper.
paper. For example, dinhi sa kwarta lugar.
Sabi, patanawa ko, be.
You do not know.
Wala, 1,000
There's a
na.
security code here. Sakali mo lang.
Sampol na sampol.
Kada warag panginadlok lang nga naay that can be easily defrauded. That can be easily defrauded.
Parang dali rin na siya
Modern times. Now, again, question, do you have an expert to interpret nga kana siya original ko makita? Are you prepared for that to examine whether that is genuine or not?
Yes,
Kung
Your
ma-transfer na the other people.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you do it?
Because these are...
By mere glancing lang? May baon niyo yung original?
Almost 1 minute.
Yes.
1 minute na.
Lapo man yung matubag.
Yeah, you can
Your
answer,
Honor,
Mama.
Because hologram siya, Your
Mata-mata
Honor.
lang. We need
And it is pre-numbered po. It is subject for accountability and it is under being checked.
So
by
there's a number.
Yes, there
No,
Okay.
no,
it's a
I'm questioning the
pre-numbered.
authenticity, whether that is genuine or not.
Yeah, anybody can copy it if somebody would really wanted to copy it.
Ay, mapiki pag ang
Yeah, okay. Your time is up. Only 1 minute. Councilor Attorney James Judith Bernie, 1 minute, 1 minute. That's it. Go, Councilor Attorney James.
Yes. Madam Chair, ina nila akong pangutana, katigan ako ang sugyot kanina ni Consel Ayan Mark Nakaya, nanong dili na lang barcode kay naamang ko na ilang gipasakaan kay nako kaso nga master forger mine lucky gyud nga kanang muawat ani Ma'am Divine dili gid sa Cagayan de Oro kamulo na ang kaso karon dili gid mo mailhan nga kaning gipiki. Ang akong pangutana, Ma'am Divine, kung Madam Chair, kung naabat tay scanner nga pwede kung dudahan nimo ang mga bali nga sticker, pwede ba nimo i-scan para ma-verify nga naagid ni sa data nga system?
Okay, ma'am, nabak kay scanner, ma'am, pareha sa kwarta.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. With regards to the benchmark activity, Your Honor, we also did a research that upon procuring this one, the technology is what we call Swissgram technology, which embedded to the sticker itself. And part of the procurement is also the verifier system. So distinct siya nga feature sa kani siya nga sticker. And at the same time, we believe na dili siya basta-basta because of the technology. Lahi siya sa kanang mga karaniwan lang nga mga stickers.
So na kay verifier for that?
Yes, part of the
sa inyong office
procurement. That will be procured pa po.
So yeah, in your office, but then those who will be able to get it from outside your office, do the other office and agencies have a verifier? Now that's the question. Diba? Whether the one that goes to another office, is that authentic? Pareho ba peso sa mga bangko makitaan man nila? So they have this technology to check nga authentic ba? Anyway, Councilor Bernie Sparcia, 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Ma'am, pasaylo kami kung ingani ang among pagpangutana because we don't want man good na makadungog na sa additional payment na pod. Kana ba nga sticker makapaspas sa serbisyo o pag-process sa atong mga papel diha sa City Hall?
Dili siguro kay tangtangon pa man nimo.
Exactly, Madam Presiding Officer. Ang akong punto is mas maayo pa nga atong idugang is kanang something nga makapaspas sa atong serbisyo, dili dugang nga bayro nun. Mura na ako, Madam Presiding Officer.
Huwag mawala, pangitaon pa nimo. Anyway, any more questions? That's it. So again, so this is again a round of discussions. I do not know, Majority Floor Leader, Attorney Edgar Cabanlas. Did you already, I'm sorry, Councilor, did you already order? Wala pa? For approval pa?
Actually po, this is for adoption, a proposed adoption
So
on
wala
the
pa?
use. Wala pa po.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. Majority Floor Leader, Attorney Edgar Cabanlas.
So we will refer this, defer.
Defer again?
Defer
Okay,
and
ma'am.
refer to the committee.
Yes,
on,
for further discussion.
Sino committee ni?
What committee? No, I think why not present so everybody can see?
Yes.
Is that another round for us to ano?
This was certified
Dili
by
na?
our mayor.
Okay.
This was certified by our mayor for...
So refer to the committee?
On finance.
Ways and Means, okay. Finance,
Ways and-
Councilor Alam Lim.
And George Cooking.
And Councilor George Goking. Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, sir. Now, refer to the Committee on Finance and Ways and Means. Yes, let's proceed. Majority Floor Leader, Attorney Edgar Cabanlas.
So item 2, 3, and 4.
Eh.
Move to lift the suspension.
Okay, session resume.
Item 2, 3, and 4, Turks.
For omnibus approval, items 2 and 3. Item 2 is proposed resolution number 2024-739, returning to Barangay Council of Barangay by Ikingon, the city, its ordinance number 01, series of 2024, covering its annual budget for calendar year 2024 with an estimated income of 6,258,052 pesos. Item 3 is proposed resolution number 2024-740, returning to Barangay Council of Barangay San Simon de City, its ordinance number 004, series of 2024, covering its annual budget for calendar year 2024 with an estimated income of 7,513,606 pesos, with the information that said ordinances are operative in their entirety.
May I request Councilor Alam Lim be recognized, Madam Chair.
Councilor Alam Lim, you're recognized.
Madam Chair, everything is in order. I move to approve proposed resolution number 2024-739, 2024-740.
In a second.
Second.
Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final reading.
Second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Item 4, proposed resolution number 2024-741, returning to the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Puerto, the city, its resolution number 10, series of 2024, covering its annual budget for CY 2024 with estimated income of 1,768,733 pesos, with information that said resolution is operative in its entirety. May I request Councilor Kenneth Sakala.
Councilor Kenneth Sakala, you're recognized.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, and move for the approval of the proposed resolution number 2024-741. Thank you.
And a second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final reading.
Second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Item 5, proposed resolution number 2024-742, adopting the order of the Committee on Ethics and Blue Ribbon, BR case number 2024-02, entitled Mr. Windelin Escubia, et al. Complainants against Mr. Elmer Cochamco, former Barangay Kagawad of Barangay Pugman, respondent the city for grave abuse of authority, grave misconduct, dishonesty, conduct prejudicial to the best interest of the service, violation of Section 3-3E of Republic Act 1319, violation of the provisions of the Local Government Code, libel, and violation of the provisions of Republic Act 6713, dismissing the said case for being moot and academic, considering that the respondent is no longer a member of the Barangay Council of Barangay Pugman, this city. Move for its approval, Madam Chair.
And a second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve a second final reading.
Second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Number 6, Turks.
Item number 6 is proposed ordinance number 2024-467, appropriating the sum of 198,099 pesos from the item non-office general public services, terminal leave benefits, monetization of earned leave credits, earmarked for Ms. Marilyn P. Babia, Administrative Officer 5 of the Office of the City Budget Officer, in the 2024 annual budget, to be made available for the payment of the terminal leave pay of Attorney Noel S. Beja, former City Councilor of the city, whose term ended on July 1, 2004.
Madam Chair, may I request Councilor Gurley Balaba be recognized?
Councilor Gurley Balaba, you're recognized.
I move for the approval of proposed ordinance number 2024-467.
And a second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final reading.
Second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Number 7, proposed ordinance number 2024-468, appropriating the sum of 46,300 376 pesos and 7 centavos from the item non-office public service terminal leave benefits, monetization of earned leave credits earmarked for Ms. Jocelyn Salcedo, Social Welfare Assistant of the Office of the Social Welfare and Development Office, in the 2024 annual budget to be made available for the payment of the terminal leave pay of Mr. Iyo Hindu H. Scotia, former social welfare aide casual of said office, who resigned from public service effective May 2, 2023. May I request Councilor Romeo Calizo be recognized? Madam
Councilor Romeo Calizo, you recognize?
May I move for the approval of proposed ordinance number 2024-468.
Any second? Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second and final reading.
Second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Number 8, Turks, please.
Item number 8 is proposed ordinance number 2024-469, appropriating the sum of 72,628 pesos and 67 centavos from the continuing appropriation annual budget for calendar year 2023, non-office economic services sector land acquisition expropriation, to be made available for the full payment of the claim for just compensation of improvements, buildings owned by Ms. Jennifer R. Silador, covered by tax declaration numbers G-425888 and G-425889, which were affected by the 10-meter wide proposed road from the National Highway towards Tablon Hospital Infirmary Facility located in Barangay Tablon, the city, due to the reassessment of her properties per appraisal report dated February 16, 2024. Breakdown is reflected in the agenda, Madam Chair.
May I request, Madam Chair, that Councilor Roger Abaday be recognized?
Councilor Roger Abaday, you recognize?
I move for the approval of the resolution 2024-469.
Any second? Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Item 9, Turks.
Item number 9 is proposed ordinance number 2024-470, authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Lando A. Uy, representing the City Government of Cagayan de Oro, to enter into and sign the Memorandum of Understanding with the Department of Social Welfare and Development through its Regional Field Office 10, represented by Regional Director Ramel F. Hamin, covering the implementation of the DSWD's 14th Cycle Supplementary Feeding Program in Early Childhood Care and Development, under the terms and conditions stipulated therein.
May I request that Councilor Mercedes Gurley Balaba be recognized?
Councilor Gurley Balaba, you recognize?
I move for the approval of proposed ordinance number 2024-470.
Any second? Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Item 10, proposed ordinance number 2024-471, approving the application of Mr. Rodrigo Z. Go, President of the Lumbia Octagon Sports Arena, to hold a one-day derby on May 22, 2024 at the said arena, located in Barangay Lumbia, the city. May I request Councilor Roger Jer Abaday.
Councilor Roger Abaday, you recognize?
Considering that the application of the said derby is in order, I move for the approval.
Any discussion? With Councilor Attorney Joey Abo?
No more.
Okay. Any second? Any objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Item 11, proposed ordinance 2024-472, creating in the plantilla of personnel of the Office of the City Council the position of Indigenous Peoples Mandatory Representative as ex officio member, sectoral representative of the Sangguniang Panglungsod, Cagayan de Oro, with salary grade 27, providing funds therefore and for other purposes. Move for its approval, Madam Chair.
Any second? Information? Councilor Attorney James Judith and Councilor Ayana Chas. Yes, you recognize.
Madam Chair, una sa tanan, akong dakong pagpasalamat nga naa na gyud ni karon ang mahatagan ug katumanan na gyud ni ang atong dugay ng gipangandoy sa atong mga kaigsuonan ng mga IPs. Apan gusto lang ako matataw kung naa na manggaling ato na ning pag-aprobahan karon. Naa na bay aduna na bay mekanismo diin natumbok na ba kung kinsa gyud maglingkod isip IPMR? O kaysa akong nasairan, Madam Chair, napa may panagbangi sa mga pipila ka mga kaigsuonan nato nga mga IPs kung kinsa bagyod ang maglingkod, ang magrepresentar kanila kay naa may opposing faction sa akong nasairan. Kay kung dili, pwede man pod siguro kay dili man bawal sa ilang kaning sa IP nga sa pamalaod nga naay sambuanga doctrine nga pwede ra mag-rotate sa mga nagbangi nga mga grupo sa atong mga IPs. Kana lang. Daghang salamat.
Okay. Thank you very much. Councilor Ayan, Minority Floor Leader Ayan Achas, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move for deferment of this agenda, Madam Chair. It's the same sentiments with Councilor James Judith.
But do we have already the identified assumption na human na?
Madam Chair, this is a mandatory provision in the local government code.
So there's already
The decision of the Supreme Court is very clear on this. We cannot deny this appointment. And in fact, there was already an appointment. There was already the
person identified.
representative, Mr. Kabaring, has already taken his oath, and he was being represented by the NCIP and the regional director, and our City DILG director, Jane Docalius, is pushing through hard that this be approved because this is one of the basis for this seal of local government award. So it's very necessary nga ato na ni. We have been delaying this for so many years because we didn't find any reason why we should have. For us, before, IPs is presented by Councilor J, because he's also an IP. But we cannot deny this because the law is clear.
Yeah.
There is no need, in fact, of the creation of this. This is automatic. Automatic ni siya.
Yeah, same with other cities.
But for process of formal creation of the office, we are passing this ordinance now. So, di lang na nato ni kunon kay wala tayo mahimo ni.
Okay. So, Councilor...
Discussion gyapon pero wala gina wala gid mahimo. This is a requirement sa balaod. Unless there is an objection, then we will
Yes, Councilor Romeo Caliso.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I don't know if we still have to pass this ordinance because is it not that the IPMR, the office of the IPMR is equivalent to the office of every councillor? So, do we still have to pass this if this is already equivalent? Is it not that the plantilla positions, wala gyud di ay. Wala ba ma-define dito sa that's my question, Madam Chair. Because if
so
it's well defined already in 7160.
Once it's approved.
Yeah, then
okay.
Then I will
so
retract
once
my-
this is approved, then the plantilla will be open.
Madugan. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So I've got to support.
Okay. Thank you very much, Councilor
approval.
Romeo Caliso. Yes, Councilor Bernice Parcha.
Just to add, Madam Presiding Officer, tama, dati, naibawaan ako nga medyo nagkagubot, walay dili kung kinsa bagyo'y angayan, but there's already a supporting documents, legal documents about this. Daog na si Kabaring and even the IPMR, nagpagawas na gid ani, Madam Presiding Officer. And tama, I heard also nga, si Jay, IP man si Jay, but we all know also nga, ang pagka-councilor ni Jay is, do IP man siya, pero dili man ingon nga, morag, ang iyang pagdagan is representing yun siya sa IP. So it's already nana sa Supreme Court, tama, nanagyud sa balaod. So dapat nanagyud tayo nga position para ani nila. So sa question on nagkagubot, nagaplastar na ba, there's already a legal document on it. Nagkasinabot na sila dito kay I was there nga nakabalo niya na, Madam Presiding Officer. So that's why
Okay.
I strongly
Actually-
support on that ordinance,
Yeah, actually,
Madam
the
Presiding.
ALG is pushing for this because it had been implemented to other cities already. So, yes, Councilor Agasuan, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Correct me if I'm wrong. We are adding another councilor in the city.
Yeah.
So there would be
We go
17
IP.
councilors now in
Yeah. Who wants to sit with him?
19.
19.
Madam Chair, we are not
May
we are not really in
additional.
objection with this since this is a
Yeah.
mandate of the government, but we should have discussed this thoroughly or even met the representatives first and just more information, Madam Chair, not just a sudden approval in this plenary. That is what we are asking. And Madam Chair, another question. Could we have heard the opinion of the other members of the IP or the governing bodies of our indigenous people? And another question is, how do we stop the other sectors from asking representatives in the city council? And these are questions that I would have loved to argue and love to debate in the committee, but then again, it is what it is. It's already here. Maybe some of my colleagues can answer that, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Councilor Attorney Joey Abu.
Thank you again, Madam Presiding Officer. Well, under the local government code, na ay mga sectoral representations nga kailangan mabutang sa City Council. And one of which is the indigenous peoples. No, as to the manner of the selection of who would be the representative, that is not up for the City Council to decide because it is with the NCIP. What we only have to do here in the City Council is just to create this item and make this available for that person who would win. Mag-election man siguro gyapon na sila sa NCIP. O kung kinsa man ganing makadaog, would have is a position or an item to assume as representative as ex officio member in the City Council.
Yeah. I think they already have selected. Okay. Sige, thank you very much. Councilor Majority Floor Leader, you have the floor.
We have to create this position because there is none in the budget.
So we
Then
have to
create also the appropriation. We have to pass a appropriation for the salaries. Now, the other, supposedly in the local government code, there are four: women's, labor, indigenous people, and barangay. Now, only two are required to be implemented. Liga and the indigenous. All the other, and the SK.
Yeah.
Ang uban, wala. There is no law. There is no mandate on the mandatory requirement that we should put up all this or fill up all these positions, all other representatives, sectoral representative. Kani gyud ang IPs. Grabing away ani. Grabe abot ni sa Supreme Court, DILG mga public opinions gani ang Davao na naila. They were forced. Halos ang Cebu, halos tanan syudad na naila except.
Yeah, almost.
Napugos sila dani. Nag-ingon na Supreme Court, there is no need for the Sanggunian's approval because there was before. The argument is that there should be a creation by the Sanggunian, creating that position. The Supreme Court said no need for that. It's automatic position. So ang atong gabatong ko ng formalities lang. It's beyond us. We cannot prevent this.
Yeah.
Budgetary requirement lang. But as far as the entry of that representative, we cannot do otherwise. Wala gid tayo about na. Wala gid. So, now we will invite after the creation of this position, we will invite Turks, the kanang katong representative sa IPs, and he will be presented here, and he will be talking to us. So
Then
you can ask question. You can ask question.
He still cannot sit
So I was
after presenting him. He can join already, not yet.
Yes.
Okay, so we have to put another table.
Yes, ako lang ako siyang tingnan nga ala ipag-wear sa G-string kasi gamit pa na din yung So, garbo na to na sa kagiyang diuro nga niya nagid ang
They
Kaya
are
nga tumangkod, Madam,
represented. Yeah.
kayot lang, Madam Chirac.
Yeah.
Lang. Nganong nalangan po ni? Kaya ang IP populations kagayan ni wala mabot sa minimum. At sige sila panganak, kadaghan na gyud. So niabot na gyud sila sa minimum nga 50,000 or 30,000 ka mga IPs, registered IPs for Cagayan de Oro. Namuna karon nga na gyud sila. Kanya to sige kakablakan. Tungod din ng gamay ra sila. Nahanong daghan naging taon. So salamat nga naanasib sila kay aron nga
Aron makuan-kuan sa atong committee
Yeah,
sa
masunod mga kuan sila,
indigenous kinsa man to ang committee.
Now,
Oh.
we will create the as
Yeah.
of today, the Committee on Agriculture and Cultural Minorities, na kang J.
Yeah.
So, next session, we will separate and we will give the Cultural Minorities Committee to Mr. Kabari.
Yes.
Iritina to ang Agriculture kang J. Eh, ngakuha naman sila, dali rin na sila gamahay, Madam Chair. Basta nga,
Yeah.
ano na to na kuno sila?
Tinod. Anyway, so are you okay
Magmahay
now?
no niya. Oh, sige.
So what's the pleasure of the House?
I already move for its approval, Madam Chair.
Okay. Any second? Any objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Any second? Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
There being no other matters to take up, motion for adjournment, Madam Chair.
Session adjourned. God bless us all.